do some mistakes. I have tried my best to learn from Acharya, Gurudis and from Bhagavad Gita. So today we are discussing chapter 18, text 37, 38 and 39. I will read out once. So 37 is Tatagre Vishamiva Parinami Mritopamam Tatsukham Satvikam Totam Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. That means that which is in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like a nectar which awakens one to self-realization is said to be happiness in the mood of goodness. So 37 text is talking about happiness in the mode of goodness. Next verse is 38. It is Vishayendriya Sanyogat Tadagre Mritopamam Pariname Vishamiva Tatsukham Rajasansmritam. That means that happiness which is derived from the contact of senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first, but poison at the end is said to be nature of passion. And 39 is Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanatmanah nidra lashya pramadotham tattama samudakritam. That means, and that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from the beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness and illusion, is said to be the nature of ignorance. So basically all these three verses are talking about happiness in different modes. The first one, 37, is in mode of passion, in mode of goodness. Second one is mode of passion, and third one is mode of ignorance. Just during the class I realized someone by mistake was reading the third sloka, and it gave me one clue that Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanatmana nidra lasya. So someone was saying nidralaya. So it reminded me that this world is called as dukhalaya, and someone said rightly as nidralaya. So it was correct, not the incorrect pronunciation. So it is nidralaya means dukhalaya, that is correct definition. And the first one is goodness. So in mood of goodness, how it feels? It starts with not good pleasant experience. Means just last weekend I visited Wharton University. I went for a seminar, and they were also having coincidentally the same subject, but not telling the name. So they said we have spinach theory. So initially we teach some hard subjects like finance, accounting, some hard subjects. So that they were referring as the spinach theory. Exactly the same thing our Bhagavad Gita is also teaching, that in the beginning it feels like poison, but at the end it is nectar. So for anything, it is like a spinach theory. So in the beginning, if it is a mode of goodness, it will not feel good like waking up early in the morning, doing prayers and doing all good things, or doing austerities or dan, anything. These things are not good in the initial experience. But at the end, these are the real nectar. So what is next one? That is mode of goodness, the happiness in the mode of goodness. So how it feels? So which derives from the contact of senses. So because of sense enjoyment, we may feel initially good, but at the end it is poison. That is second level. And the third one is neither at the beginning nor at the end that is pleasing. That is in the mode of ignorance, that kind of happiness. So what is this happiness? So okay, before going further on that, since we are in the mood of welcoming Lord Ram, and today we sung like Ram aayenge aayenge, and really I felt like really Ram is coming, and Ram has arrived in this room, and soon you will feel our friend Keshav Prabhu will also give you some proof that Ram has really arrived in this room. Some yellow rice some diksha, some akshata, that has came from India, and soon you will get the real presence of Lord Ram. So Ram has really arrived. So before start, I will share two things about. We have heard lot about Lord Ram and Treta Yuga, and that there was like flawless rule, regulation, everything was going nice. But there was some problems. I will not say problem, but we have the record of that also. So what happened? There are two beautiful stories coming from Ram Raj time. So his time was full of happiness. Somehow there were two cases reported of crime or some FIR, you can say. So total 2 FIRs were filed during Ram Yuga. One was revenue related, means Diwani related to land property, and one was criminal FIR, means like fighting, beating someone. So what happened? The Revenue Act was, 2 birds were fighting. Birds. One was vulture, gid, and another was, I think it was a crow. So they were fighting for the property, and there was a tree, there was a quarter, and there was a nest. So they were fighting for the possession. So the vulture was saying that this is my place, my home, and the crow was saying that no, this is my home, and they were fighting like anything. So the issue escalated, and it went to the Ram Darbar, and then Lord Ram applied all the intelligence and the proper logic. There was constitution, and then he set some people to investigate further. He called some panditas and he inquired that okay, he first listened both parties. He said okay, he asked first vulture that what is your stay. So he said, Lord, I was staying here, not only me, my father and my father's father. We were living here in this quarter from last 3 generations, and it belongs to us. This is my nest. I am not going to leave. At the same time, he asked Crow that put your points. So Crow said that not only from 2-3 generations, since the beginning of this universe, from this Srishti, I have been living there. Then Ram said, okay. So then he called the archaeologists and botany professors, like those Vaidya and Rishis Munis, and he said that just check the age of the tree. And then they investigated, and you know, we can easily find out the age even in this time also. If you see the cross-sectional view or any cross-sectional view of a big branch, if you count the number of lines, you can simply count the age. So it was roughly aged by 300-400 years ago. And then he concluded that what Crow is saying, that clearly wrong. He is saying that since from the beginning of this universe, I have been there. My family was there. So he was clearly like crossed out. And then he made a justice. He gave the place to vulture. This was one case. This was revenue department, by the way. So this was one property case. Another story is, and these are mentioned in the scriptures, not my own made. So another one was, yeah, the criminal FIR was filed. So what happened? One sadhu was going on the way, and one dog was sitting. Dog was sitting nicely, calmly, and that sadhu thought something, and he was having one stick, one danda, and he just beated the dog without any reason, just 3-4 sticks, and dog was just crying like anything, and he immediately escalated to Ram Raj. And that time Ram Raj was so sophisticated that even he was listening to animals, birds. Just see the examples. He was considering all these cases also in his total portfolio. Then these two problems were arised. So then he again set the inquiry, and then CBI investigation all started that time. Then he called both parties. So always while doing justice, listen both parties. Don't judge just by one party. So he asked first the saint, what happened? Then he said, no, he asked first the dog, swan, that what happened, why you are crying? Then he said, Lord Ram, I was sitting nicely, quietly, and without any reason, this person came and he started beating me like anything. This is also happening in this age also, like some kids throw the stones. So he said, yeah, it seems not good, not fair. Then he asked that saint person that why you did so? Is it true? Then he was also a saint person, nice person. He admitted his mistake. He said, yes, I committed mistake, but unintentionally. Actually, I was going on my way and I saw a dog, so I was scared. So I thought this dog may bite me. So just to safeguard myself, I just beaten him to push him away so that I will be safe. But yes, I agree that I made some mistake. Then he decided that yes, you are guilty. So what will be the punishment? Then Lord Ram said that okay, he asked that dog itself that okay, what is your judgment? I give you the chance to give him punishment. Then you know what he gave the judgment? He said the final verdict is that this sadhu will become, in next birth, he will become the mahant, the main priest of 8 mathas, of 8 big temples. Like we have much big temples, right? So that type of 8 temple main priest he will be. Everyone was astonished that what kind of judgment is this? He is punishing or rewarding? And in all his society, other temples, priests were getting jealous that, oh, I should also start beating dogs nowadays because we are getting blessing instead of getting any punishment. So this news is spread everywhere like anything. Everyone whispering, what is this, what is this? And then again some inquiry came, what is called inquiry nowadays, what is the right of information. Yeah, the right of information. So someone asked that, what kind of judgment is this? Then they went again back to the dog. Then he said, yes, this is the punishment, not the reward. Why? Because he said, in my previous birth, I was also the priest of one matha. And becoming the priest and the main pujari of any place or becoming authority itself gives you such a huge pride and ego that next birth you will become a dog. So I was the main priest of one temple. This saint will become a priest of eight mathas. So he will suffer more times, 8 times more than me. Then he will realize, and then this will be settled. So this was the judgment. So these were only 2 incidents, FIRs, during the Lord Ram Rai. Okay. And since we are talking more about Ram, so we all are ready to welcome Ram, and I will little brief about our recent history, medieval history, that in 1510 year, Ram temple was existing there, and even Guru Nanak also visited temple, and then around 1528 Babri Masjid was built on the ground of that. And then in 1949 Ram Lala deities appeared again in the Garbhagriha, and then in 1976 the Archaeological Society of India investigated, and they found the pillars, temple pillars, some more evidence of temple, and it was evident. And then finally in 1993 our Supreme Court of India also said that worship can be continued. And then I think last 2-3 years back final verdict came, and then this decision was harmonious. Both parties agreed unanimously. There was no conflict as the that is the effect of Lord Ram. And it has been a very, very long time, and we are witnessing the history that this is the fulcrum moment. The fulcrum point is when you see any hexa, any point, when you turn the angle, that is the fulcrum point. So this is going to be the fulcrum point. Now our world will witness the new changes in India and in the world, and as of now we are around 8 billion people in this world, and out of that around 31% are Christian, 23% are Muslim, 16% are atheists and other religions, and 15% are Hindus, Sanatanis, which is roughly around 1 billion people. And this is not only the matter of 1 billion people, but entire world will rejoice it. And again, India is going to become the leader as before at least in the spiritual world. India is going to set big examples, and this temple is going to welcome more tourists also. So it will awaken the spiritual journey as well as the tourism also. For example, in North Island, the total population is just how much? 5 million, I think. 5 million, yes. So 1 million. In Northern Ireland, the population is 1 million and they attract 5 million tourists. And in India, we are around 1.4 billion people pre-COVID. After COVID, we don't know. So pre-COVID it was 1.4 million, and we attract around 11 million tourists as of now. So after having these kind of temples, we are expecting more and more tourism and spiritual awakening also. And it has already started. Lord Kashi Vishwanath temple has been regenerated, and next month the Babs temple, the biggest temple in the world in Abu Dhabi, is going to start. So these kind of renovation and new things are coming. The spiritual awakening is coming. And what is Ram? I found one beautiful sloka about Ram. Ramante yogino anante satyanand chidatmani iti Ram padenaso parabrahma vidiyate. So Ramante yogino yasha sa Ramah. जिसमें योगियों का मन लगता है वही राम है. So we every day we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are already infused in Krishna consciousness, Ram consciousness, and we are always chanting, singing, dancing with Ram word. So we know that what is Ram. And again, referring to our today's slokas 37, 38, 39, we have seen the seeking of happiness. There are three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So, what is the real happiness that we have to find? Like most of us are having like influence of all three modes, and sometimes something is more powerful, and sometimes like goodness is more prominent, passion is less prominent, or sometimes ignorance is more prominent. So we have to increase our passion, like our goodness quotient. And what is the soul happiness? So soul happiness is in the relation with the Supreme, because we belong to Supreme, our Lord Krishna, and that is the real happiness. But if you see our current scenario in our society, what is happening in our society, in our industries, if you see the industries who are making more money, more business, the top one is entertainment industry. Yes, so entertainment industry is like film industry, cricket industry. So these are actually product of boredom. Film industry is also called as the boredom industry, because people are getting bored. That's why they want to watch more and more TV. So in recent decades, the cricket and film industry has married together, and their kids are like IPL is their kid. So this kind of new entertainments are coming for the boredom industry. For example, uh, any doctor who is fixing the broken leg is getting less money than compared to the person who is kicking the ball in the ground. If you see the example of any soccer forums, like there are many Manchester club, they are making huge money, but the doctors are not making even 1/10 of that money. That means we as a society, we are paying more for entertainment, but that entertainment is not the real, like the goodness entertainment. That is mostly ignorance. Sometimes few things are in mode of passion. So what is happening here? So right now, for example, there are some data like 370 people per day committing suicide in India on average. 18 million are suffering with cardios, 77 million with diabetic, 10 million cancer, 5 million obesity leading to death. And most of these things are happening because of mismanagement of our lifestyle, distress, and the fake happiness. That means we are not able to manage our own mind and body, and these are the facts coming out of us. So why this is happening? So we have to regulate our lifestyle. And why distress is coming? The main reason of distress is the fear of change. From the morning till evening, we fear of change. So that is causing distress, and in long run it starts some BP, sugar, these kind of problems arises. So the solution for that is the prayers. The direct name is prayer, like you can call it meditation, or you go to any religion, everyone says and professes that start your day with a prayer. It can be in any form. So start your day with some positivity. It will give us enough immune to protect ourselves. And when we talk about Ram, we cannot forget about Lakshman. So what is the meaning of Lakshman? Lakshman means Lakshmipati, who is the honor of wealth and prosperity. So where Lakshman ji spent most of his time? Ram. And where? At which place? Forest. But his name says he is Lakshmipati. So was he affluent? Was he having big Lakshmi there? No. So how it can be justified? How he was Lakshman? How he was Lakshmipati? Anyone wants to guess?
Searching for the wealth is in the service to the
Brilliant answer. Yeah. So he was always Lakshmipati, because the real Lakshmi, the real wealth, prosperity is to serve Lord, and he was always in that. That's why he is Lakshmipati and he is Lakshmi. So very brilliant answer we got, right? So we are reading Bhagavad Gita every day, and like Prabhuji has given the exemplary example of giving takeaways, like giving away. He is giving maximum to us, and he is really applied Bhagavad Gita. So I was always thinking that we are every day going to, like every Friday we are attending the classes. So what should be our course of action finally? Means it should not be just one-way sermon, that someone is preaching a sermon and we are listening, going back to home and then again doing that. So yeah, so what happened, my today's experience, I was almost done with my all job. It was almost end of the day, and then Maya Devi attacked me at 5 p.m. Yeah, my boss's boss, 3-4 level above, who is the head of my department, he put some request that some report has to go by EOD today. And I was running like anything. Then I closed myself again in the office room, and then I prepared and I ran the some automation script. After the class I will go again. So somehow I managed, but this is how Maya Devi attacks. Then I remember one my friend in India back home. He was saying that when you go for good thing, my Devi will attack you. So I remembered that sentence, and then I somehow managed. And I again, then my wife said that, are you going to manage with the class? Then I said, of course, I will prioritize my class, and that's how I'm here. So, okay, coming back to the real application of Bhagavad Gita. So, every Friday we are getting some dose, right? So, we should take some decision that how we are going to implement in our life. So we should make some decision, at least something take away from this class, that we will take a oath that we will start our day with some prayer. If you are regular doing chanting, then that's well and good, but those who are not able to do, they can start with some small thing, some gratitude to God, and that will give you the immunity to survive during the rest of the day. So there are some Karagre Vaste Lakshmi, Parvat Lakshmi, what is that? Karagre Vaste Another one is Samudra Vasme Devi, Parvat Lakshmi, Vishnu Pati Namaste, Adappas Chamashumi. That's how, like, that is the quick start. And then we should chant our Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So this should, we should take a oath that we will do that. And then coming back to temples, so as we are building and getting a new temple, so what are the temples? Many times, even my scholar friends, like who are very well educated and logical people, they also say that we should feed people instead of putting money, investing money in the temples. So sometimes it confuses. Initially, I was also getting confused, but because of your association and God blessings, some seniors advisors, my concept got little clearer. That now I know that that is not the only problem. So if only the temples are considered as the waste of money, then the first thing, instead of sponsoring big IPL matches, we can feed people at least for 1 year. So we are paying everywhere else, and temples are actually hospitals. And any guesses what are the medicines? If temples, Harina, mantras are the medicines. So we are having the hospitals for our mind, for body we have the regular hospitals like JCMC or any hospital AMS. But for our soul and mind also we need temples. And medicines are Harina, mantras. So we should utilize this opportunity in this our lifetime. We are witnessing the great thing that we are going to see Lord Ram's temple. Okay, and the third one, what are some examples of 39? Mode of ignorance, happiness. Those are like sleeping, laziness, illusion. Those are